Okay, hey everyone. So this is going to be my full journal flip through for my 2020 reading journal. So this is an A5 bullet journal from Archer & Olive. I'll have it linked below. I just love the Archer & Olive bullet journals. They're just such high quality and I just love like the texture on the front cover. I love the silver edges and yeah, I just really love this journal. So I've been using this journal for a lot of my journals. So I do have my whole video setting this journal up. If you don't know, these stickers are from Redbubble and yeah, I just love this journal a lot. So I'm super excited for the flip through, and this is where I track all of my reading. And if you don't know, I have my other channel, Books with Chloe, where I talk about my reading and everything. So anyway, let's get into it. So this is the first page. I just have my business card and obviously just a really simple page to say it belongs to Chloe. Then this page I kind of hate, and I did mention that in my setup video, and I didn't end up fixing it because I just wasn't bothered. But yeah, this just says 2020 reading journal. Started 14th of December, finished 9th of January. So this spread is my books read in 2020 spread. So basically I just set up a bookshelf and I have my key at the bottom. So I have physical book, audiobook and ebook. So whenever I finished a book, I would write it down in the bookshelf and then color it in according to the key. So obviously you can't really see a huge difference in the colors, but it's enough for me to see. So obviously I can see like how many audiobooks I've read and how many physical books I've read. I don't read ebooks that often, so I think there's like one, but that is honestly not very different to that color. So that's probably not the best decision, but I just really love the neutral color scheme, so that's why I went with grays. And also these are the Tombow gel brush pens. These are the color codes for them. But yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite spreads to fill out, and every time I finished a book it was so satisfying to write it in the bookshelf. And yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite spreads, so of course I had to do it again in my 2021 journal, which if I haven't mentioned already, I've already filmed my setup video for that, so I'll leave that linked above and below. So these spreads are another one of my favorites. Basically this is just my books read in 2020, but it's the book cover version. So basically every time I finish a book, I would print out the book cover and stick it in these pages with my rating underneath. And actually I get a lot of questions about how I do this, and it's literally so simple. Basically you just go to Google, find the book cover, copy and paste the book cover into a Pages document or a Word document or whatever, and then you can just size the book cover to whatever size you want. So for this, the book covers are like 2.3 by 3.5. A lot of people ask me what the dimensions are, so that's what it is. Basically I just have it in a document and I save that document, so whenever I have to print out new book covers, I can just make it the same size as the other book images and print it out. And my printer is the Epson XB8600 if you're wondering. I'll also link that below. But yeah, so this is definitely one of my favorites. It's just so satisfying and it's a really nice way to visually see all the books that I've read in 2020. So here are all the books that I read. And here I want to print out like my favorite book of the year and my least favorite book of the year. The reason I haven't done it yet is because I haven't decided. I haven't made my list for my top favorite books of the year. So I need to do that, and once I do, then I'll fill this page out. Okay, so this spread is my 2020 reading goals spread. So my goals were to read 100 books, read more manga, graphic novels, thriller/horror, and non-fiction. So every month I did read one of those, I would color the books in. And I read exactly 100 books in 2020. So it's super satisfying to see all the boxes colored in. And early in 2020, after I already set up this page, I added this other goal, which is for every book read from a white author, read at least one book from an author of color. So I just stuck that in because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. So that's just stuck in there. But anyway, so yeah, love this page. Once again, it was super satisfying to color in a box once I finished a book. And then this is my 2020 review, but I feel like it should be like overview. Anyway, basically I just have every month of the year, and then I write down how many physical books I read in that month, how many audiobooks I read, how many ebooks, how much manga I read, how many graphic novels, and if I read any arcs. So at the end of every month I would fill in the table. And then I just recently filled in how many pages I read for the total year, which is 33,144, which is so insane to think about. And then total books read 100. And the way that I get these stats is I use a spreadsheet that was created by Ali from Hardback Hoarder. I'll link the 2021 in my description. She's amazing. She puts so much time and work into creating those spreadsheets, and it's just so easy to put in, you know, the books you've read, and then it automatically calculates, you know, pages read and everything. So it's just so good to get your monthly and yearly stats super easily. Then this was my top 20 books to read in 2020. So basically I wanted to get to all these books in 2020 and obviously I only got to 3, but I'm actually fine with that because a lot of these are actually not that high priority for me anymore. So that's fine. But yeah, basically when I read the book, I would color it in and put the star in like the cloud. So this is my most anticipated releases of 2020. So I have each month and, you know, the date that the book was releasing. And obviously I didn't get to all of them, but when I did get to one of them, I would color it in and put the rating underneath. So some of these I don't really care about anymore, but a lot of these I actually do still really want to read. So definitely need to get to these. Then this is just a random TBR spread for graphic novels and manga because I realized that a lot of the graphic novels and manga that I own can have like really thin spines. So when I'm looking at my shelf, I don't always remember I have a book because like I said, they can be really thin. So I wanted to have this spread to, you know, write down all the graphic novels and manga that I owned, even though I don't own these. So I don't know why I put that there, but anyway. So I have this sticker, which is from Lillian Line on Etsy. So I wrote down some of the books here, and then I obviously just wrote down some as well. So then this is another TBR spread, which by the way, if you're like not a bookish person, TBR means to be read. So yeah, this is just a random TBR for physical books I own. This definitely isn't all the physical unread books that I own, but I just wrote like random ones that I wanted to get to, which clearly didn't read that many of them because once again, my priorities kind of changed. But in this envelope, I have like random books. So if I wanted to just randomly choose a book from this envelope to read, I could do that, which to be honest, I don't think I even did that once, but it was a cool idea. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I had that little sticker. So this is my ARC spread. So once again, if you're a non-bookish person, ARC stand for advanced reading copies. So sometimes I get sent books early to read before its release. So every time I received one, I would write it down. I'd write down the release date, the publisher, and if I requested it or if it was unsolicited, meaning I didn't request it. Most of the time I don't request ARCs, so there's only like 2. Oh, I ended up not writing it here, but yeah, 2 books that I did request, but the others were unsolicited. And then this is my spread for gifted finished copies. So I actually get sent finished copies more than I get sent ARCs. So this can be books sent from publishers or just any book gift that I get. So I'd write down the book and the publisher or who it's from. And obviously I have the red column once again. And then this is books from subscription boxes. So if you don't know, I am a rep for both Freeloot and Owlcrate. So I get their book boxes every month and there's always a book in there obviously. So I write down the book that comes in every month's box and the month that the box is. And obviously that is December, but that is because I received it in January 2020. Anyway, yeah, so here are all the books. Then I have books unhauled in 2020. Now I unhauled a lot of books in 2020, and if you don't know, book unhauling does not mean just throwing it in the bin. It means either giving it to friends, giving it away to subscribers, donating them, selling them. So yeah, I definitely don't just put them in the bin, that is so wasteful. But yeah, so anyway, I got rid of a lot of books in 2020, especially because I was moving in 2020, so I wanted to unhaul books that I was no longer interested in or, you know, other reasons. So I wrote them here, but to be honest, there were more. I just couldn't be bothered to keep writing all the books that I unhauled. So I ended up not doing this spread in 2021 because I don't want to have to write it down. I don't even know why I thought this was a cool idea. Like, I guess kind of, but I don't feel the need to do this anymore. Okay, so then this is my spread for my Patreon book club. So if you don't know, I have a Patreon and every month we do a monthly buddy read. So I started my Patreon in February. That's why there's no January. So for every month I just wrote the book that we were reading and my rating. Okay, so now we're on to the monthly spreads. So every month I do the same format. So basically I have the title page. In January I did a Little Prince theme. This is one of my favorite themes that I did. I just love the simplicity and just the vibes. I just love it. Also, I will leave my monthly plan with me playlist linked below because I do film me setting up these spreads every month. So if you're curious, check that out. But anyway, yes, so January, Little Prince theme. Then I always do my TBR spread. I do my days read spread. So for January I did, oh my gosh, I really love this actually. So yeah, I did days read physical, days read audio, which is what I always do. I like to track every day that I physically read and every day that I listen to an audiobook. And then I just put in some quotes from Little Prince down here. Yeah, I just love this theme. It's just so simple. And then every month I write down all the books that I read. So these are all my books that I read in January. And I forgot that I used to do this actually. I used to write like if it was an audiobook or whatever, but I ended up getting over that. So maybe I'll get back into that, maybe not. Then I have my favorite quotes of the month. So these are favorite quotes from books that I read in that month. So these are all quotes from books that I read in January. And then I have my favorite book of the month, which obviously I decide at the end of the month. And then I put in the book cover. I have the title, author, rating, genre, which once again, I kind of stopped doing this, but I feel like I should get back into this. Then I have my monthly stats. So how many pages I read in the month and how many books I read in the month. So once again, this is one of my favorite themes. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that actually, because a lot of my themes I am really happy with, some not so much, but anyway. So this is my February theme. I went with like a spooky Valentine's theme. So these amazing art pieces are by Lil Miss Morose on Instagram. And then I drew these myself in Procreate. And I have obviously my Tbr Spread, my Days Read spreads. I also created that in Procreate. My books read spread. What did I write in here? Reminder, if you're not enjoying a book, do you know it? I don't even need that reminder, but I guess I just wanted to write something random in there. Favorite quotes, once again, created this in Procreate. I do share my monthly like little illustrations on my Patreon too. I know they're not like, you know, amazing or anything, but I just like to do simple illustrations, so I share them there. And then I have March, and I did an Alice in Wonderland theme, super simple. So of course TBR, Days Read, books read, and for this month I decided to use my Memo printer, which is this thing, which is a thermal sticker printer, so it prints in black and white. It doesn't need ink. It's so good. I'll have it linked below because I love it. And yeah, I use that printer to print out the book covers, and I love doing this when I'm not reading like heaps in the month, because obviously if I read like 20 books I wouldn't be able to fit it on this spread. Yeah, so that's what I did. And then favorite quotes, obviously, favorite book of the month, monthly stats. Honestly hate how I put this here actually. I wanted to use this post-it note because I love it, but it just didn't suit the vibe of these spreads, so regrets, but anyway. Okay, so then in April I participated in the OWL's Read-A-Thon, and this was hosted by Book Roast. Book Roast is no longer doing a Harry Potter themed Read-A-Thon, which I think is the right decision because we all know J.K. Rowling is a really harmful human being. So anyway, I'm really excited for what she does next with the magical Read-A-Thon, because she's going to be creating like her own world or something. But anyway, yeah, so I participated in that in April, and she creates like amazing printouts and stuff for the Read-A-Thon, so that's what I printed out for a lot of these spreads. So yeah, for example, she created this because you could choose which path you wanted to take, like which career you wanted to go with. So I chose astronomer. So lots of cool printouts. She's just amazing, and like I said, I can't wait to see what she does next. Anyway, so then here is my TBR. Obviously I did this slightly differently because there were so many amazing printouts. So usually my TBR would be here, but now it's here. Then I have books read. I ended up having to put this in because I read more books, and I was doing this like book cover thing, so I had to put this in to be able to fit more books. And then this is my days read, which yeah, this was supposed to be before books read, but I remember I stuffed that up, so whatever. Then I have favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month, oh Starfish Good Times, and monthly stats. And then this was just like the certificate at the end, so printed that out and just did this random quote, which once again I want to reiterate, I'm no longer going to be talking about Harry Potter and stuff on my channels, but this was obviously in April before I made that decision, so yeah. So May was the Asian Read-A-Thon, so that was hosted by Read with Cindy, and it was a month-long Read-A-Thon. So I had these spreads inspired by that Read-A-Thon, so this was similar to the logo of the Read-A-Thon, so I just kind of copied the logo. Have my TBR as always. Days read, sneaky little Tata. Books read, honestly hate that I used this color that is just not matching anything, so I don't know why I did that. Favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month, monthly stats. Okay, so for June I did a pride theme, so I stuck in this black piece of paper and did obviously a lot of like rainbow hearts, and once again I created that in Procreate. So obviously I have my TBR, days read. I don't know why this is here. Let me just put that back here. Books read, very interesting layout I decided to go with. Don't love that, to be honest. Favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month. I do love the way that these look. Oh, and monthly stats, of course. And then in July, I did an Avatar The Last Airbender theme. This is probably one of my least favorite themes. Not because it's Avatar, obviously I love Avatar The Last Airbender, but I just feel like I could have done better with the way it looks. So the TBR, literally one book. I think that's because I was moving in July, so I just had one book on my TBR. Oh, and then I also participated in the Read-A-Thon, which I co-hosted with Monica Kim. So I did this spread for it because it was a week-long read-a-thon. So I have the week that it was held, and I tracked every day that I read, like how many pages I read. These were the reading challenges. Oh my gosh, yeah. Because this was the week that I was moving, so it was really a stressful time. So I could only read one book. But then there were the live challenges, which was really fun. Then I have my days read. See, it's just so simple, but like not in a good way in my opinion. Like, why did I not put anything there? Okay, so for my books read spread, I once again used my Memo printer to print out the covers because obviously I didn't read as much in July since, like I said, I was moving. So favorite quotes of the month, I was clearly too lazy to add quotes this month. Favorite book of the month and monthly stats. Okay, so this is my August theme, which was Bratz. And I really love how this turned out because I just love Bratz. And this took ages to create and procreate because I was trying to mimic the Bratz logo and obviously write August instead. So it took a while, but I am happy with how it turned out. And yeah, like I said, I just love Bratz, so just really loved this. TBR, clearly I sucked at this. I literally read one book off my TBR. Here's my days read. Absolutely hate this thick ass texter that I used because it was easier for me to just use this texter and like quickly do it. But I definitely prefer the look of like, you know, using my thinner texter, you know, it just looks much better in my opinion. But this one takes longer because I use the ruler and stuff. But anyway. Oh, by the way, this is my new tattoo. This is the first time you're seeing this, so hello. This is my Korean name, Sormang, which also means hope in Korean. But anyway, you're obviously gonna see that in my videos from now on, so hello. Anyway, yeah, so gross, regrets, but apart from that, I like it. Then this is my books read spread. We've got Jade, my fave. And then of course my favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month. This time I decided to, you know, write a bit about why I love the book, but I didn't do that every month, obviously. Monthly stats. And September. Once again, I did a Bratz theme, but I actually wasn't intending to do a Bratz theme 2 months in a row. I just decided to do a Bratz theme in August, and then the Bratz Read-A-Thon was announced for September, and of course I had to participate, so I did a Bratz theme again. So I was Team Jade because you could choose out of the 4 girls like which team you wanted to be on. So yeah, of course I was Team Jade. So yeah, the Bratz Read-A-Thon, it was hosted by heaps of different people and it was so fun. So for Jade, these were the prompts. So there was like read a book featuring a cat. So yeah, these are my prompts and the books that I want to read for each prompt. My September days read. This is actually like crepe paper that comes with like orders, you know. Here's my books read. Favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month, and monthly stats. And this amazing sticker is from a Bratz journal that I had. Actually, it was Penny's Bratz journal. And I found the journal during September, so I stuck this in after I set up the spreads actually. But anyway, now we have October. So for October, I did like a horror movie theme. So we have Ghostface, The Other Mother. The TBR was quite long, so I had to continue it in this little thing. But honestly, I did really well with my TBR. Like, that's pretty good in my opinion, because a lot of the time I don't, like obviously I set up my TBR because I want to read the books, but a lot of the time I don't read a lot of them. I don't know why, but I was pretty happy with my progress with my October TBR. Honestly, October was probably my favorite reading month. So obviously days read, we have books read, favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month, and monthly stats. And of course I had to put this little Peach Fuzz. Peach Fuzz is from Creep, the movie, horror movie. It's amazing, such a good movie. And this always makes me laugh. And this is one of the songs that Peach Fuzz sings. But I'm as friendly as a rabbit. So I just wrote that there, even though that's obviously not a quote from a book I read that month. Okay, so November was a Powerpuff Girls theme. Literally love this because I love the Powerpuff Girls. Obviously, we've got the Powerpuff Girls here, Sugar Spice and Everything Nice. Him, which is their villain. Days read, and Buttercup is my fave, that's why Buttercup is there. Books read. Favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month. And I didn't do monthly stats for this month because I forgot to create the stats in Procreate, like the title. So I ended up just not doing it, and I just did this book review instead for Out. Okay, so the final month, December, I did like a Gothmas theme. A lot of these stars actually like fallen off. They were supposed to be here, but whatever. So yeah, obviously a really short TBR because I was going to be really busy in December, even though I read the most books in December. Yeah. Anyway, days read, books read, which like I said, I read a lot, so I ended up having to put in this to continue my list of books read. So yeah, how many did I read? 21. Obviously a lot of it was manga. Anyway, and then favorite quotes of the month, favorite book of the month, monthly stats. So now this is like my final spread. This is my top 10 books of 2020. Obviously I haven't filled it out because like I said before, I haven't decided on my top books of the year, and also I didn't want to give spoilers because I will film a separate video on books with Chloe. But yeah, so once I do decide obviously my top books, I'll write them here. I am thinking of putting like another spread that's exactly like this here, so I can separate manga and graphic novels with my novels. So I think I will do that, and I'll probably post like a photo on Instagram or something. My Instagram is journalwchloe. So yeah, sorry I can't show you now. I just haven't decided. Like I need to sit down and take my time and decide what my favorites of the year are. So yeah, these are all the pages that I have left in this journal. I'm happy it's not too many because that would just feel wasteful. I don't think I'm gonna add any other spreads. I feel like this will be the last spread in this journal, but yeah, this is my 2020 reading journal. I really love this, and it's just so nice to look back and, you know, remember all the good times in my reading for 2020. But yeah, let me know what your favorite theme is. Let me decide right now which one is my favorite. I feel like January is an option. Actually not February. I do love February, but that's probably not actually. Maybe June. Actually, no. Maybe August. Okay, at the moment it's a tie between January and August, or maybe October. Okay, so I think it's a tie between January and August for me. If I had to choose, probably January actually, because I just really love like the color scheme and, you know, just the simple stickers, and yeah, I actually think January is my favorite. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget I have my other channels, Books with Chloe and ASMR with Chloe, and I already mentioned my Patreon. If you want to join that, that is always linked below. So I hope you're having a good day or night. I hope you all have amazing reading in 2021. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.